If you are over 70, I need you to listen carefully. The body does not collapse without warning. Death rarely arrives suddenly in the elderly. It approaches quietly, gradually, politely. It sends signals months in advance, subtle ones, easy to dismiss, easy to excuse. I have spent over 3 decades caring for older patients across the United States and the United Kingdom. I have sat beside hospital beds in silence. I have watched strong men weaken. I have watched graceful women slowly withdraw. And the hardest part, the signs were there, but they were mistaken for just aging. Today, I am going to share 6 subtle signs that may appear up to 6 months before death in elderly individuals. This is not to frighten you. This is to prepare you. Because awareness gives you power. Denial takes it away. Let's begin. 1. A quiet withdrawal from life. One of the earliest signs is not physical, it is emotional. I once cared for Margaret Collins, a retired school teacher from Ohio. For 40 years, she hosted Sunday dinners. She never missed church. She remembered every birthday. Then, about 6 months before she passed, something shifted. She stopped attending gatherings. She stopped answering phone calls. She said, "I'm just tired." Her family assumed depression, but medically, her body was beginning to conserve energy. When systems start slowing down, heart, lungs, circulation, the body prioritizes survival. Social engagement requires energy. Emotional interaction requires energy. So the body quietly pulls inward. You may notice less interest in hobbies, canceling visits, shorter conversations, increased time alone, emotional detachment. Let me be clear. Occasional solitude is normal, but sudden, sustained withdrawal in someone who was previously engaged, that is a signal. Aging does not mean disappearing. When a person begins shrinking their world, we must ask why. 2. Loss of appetite and unintentional weight loss. This is one of the strongest biological indicators. I treated James Whitaker in Manchester, 79 years old, proud, strong appetite his entire life. Then food slowly stopped appealing to him. He said, "Nothing tastes the same." Within months, he lost nearly 15 pounds without trying. Here's what happens medically. As the body approaches its final stage, metabolism shifts, the digestive system slows, energy requirements drop, hormonal signals that stimulate hunger weaken. Food is no longer processed efficiently. You may see half-eaten meals, pushing plates away, drinking more than eating, clothing becoming loose, muscle shrinking. Warning, rapid, unexplained weight loss in the elderly is never normal. It demands evaluation. But understand this, forcing food aggressively in the final months can cause discomfort. The body may not want what it cannot use. Gentleness matters. 3. Profound and escalating fatigue. Fatigue is common in aging, but escalating, disabling exhaustion is different. I remember Robert Jenkins, an 82-year-old retired firefighter from Texas. He insisted on mowing his own lawn. Then he stopped. First he needed naps, then longer naps. Then he struggled walking from the bedroom to the kitchen. This is not laziness, it is physiological decline. As organs weaken, the heart pumps less efficiently. Oxygen delivery drops, blood pressure fluctuates, muscles receive less nourishment. The body enters energy conservation mode. Sleeping 14-16 hours a day consistently, combined with weakness in basic tasks, is a major signal. And let me be direct here. Doing nothing is not neutral. When movement stops completely, decline accelerates. Even small daily movement can slow this process dramatically. Inactivity is one of the fastest accelerators toward frailty. 4. Subtle changes in mental clarity. This sign often frightens families, but it can be gradual. Eleanor Brooks from London began pausing mid-sentence. She wasn't confused, she wasn't diagnosed with dementia, but she seemed slightly distant. Here's what happens. Reduced circulation, lower oxygen levels, metabolic changes. The brain becomes less sharp. You may notice slower responses, long pauses, mild confusion, increased daytime sleepiness. Talking about deceased loved ones vividly. Important, sudden confusion can be infection, dehydration, or medication side effects, all treatable. But gradual mental dimming combined with physical decline often signals systemic slowing. The brain is sensitive. It reflects what the body is experiencing. 5. Increased falls and instability. Balance is one of the most reliable predictors of health decline. Harold Thompson, a retired postman from Birmingham, rarely stumbled. Then he had a small fall in his kitchen, then another near the stairs. Nothing dramatic, no major injuries. But repeated instability tells us muscle mass is decreasing, blood pressure regulation is weakening, reflexes are slowing, neurological signals are deteriorating. A fall is not just an accident in the elderly. It is often a symptom. Even one unexplained fall deserves serious evaluation, because frequent falls often predict major decline within months. 6. Subtle changes in breathing changes can begin long before the final days. Linda Matthews in Florida began pausing mid-conversation. She said she felt slightly winded. Over time, walking short distances required rest. Here's why. The heart weakens. The lungs compensate. Oxygen exchange becomes less efficient. You may notice shallow breathing, shortness of breath with minimal exertion, longer pauses between sentences, occasional deep sighs. Any sudden breathing difficulty is an emergency. But progressive breathlessness over months often indicates cardiovascular decline. Breathing is one of the most sensitive indicators of life force. Let me be honest with you. Seeing one of these signs does not mean death is 6 months away. Seeing several together, progressively worsening, that is when we pay close attention. As physicians, we look for patterns. And here is the truth many families struggle to accept. The body whispers before it shuts down. We just do not always listen. Now, the part most doctors don't talk about. I have also seen the opposite. I have seen patients reverse early decline. I have seen 85-year-olds regain strength. I have seen frailty stabilize. What made the difference? Not expensive treatments, not miracle drugs, but daily habits. The secrets to extending strength after 70. 1. Movement every single day. Even 10 minutes of walking improves circulation. Even chair exercises preserve muscle. Muscle is life insurance after 70. 2. Adequate protein intake. Most elderly people eat far too little protein. Muscle loss accelerates rapidly without it. Protein protects independence. 3. Hydration. Chronic mild dehydration causes confusion, dizziness, falls, fatigue. Water is medicine. 4. Social connection. Isolation increases inflammation and depression. Conversation stimulates the brain. Loneliness shortens lifespan. 5. Purpose. The healthiest elderly patients always had something to wake up for. A garden, a pet, a weekly call with a grandchild. Volunteering, prayer. Purpose keeps systems engaged. When purpose disappears, decline often follows. A final word from a doctor who has seen the end. Many times death is not the enemy. Unawareness is. The most painful situations I have witnessed were not caused by disease alone. They were caused by silence, delay, denial. If you notice, withdrawal weight loss, severe fatigue, cognitive slowing, falls, breathing changes. Do not panic, but do not ignore them. Speak to your doctor, evaluate thoroughly, adjust care early, because 6 months, if used wisely, can become the most meaningful time of life. If you are over 70 and listening to me right now, hear this clearly. The goal is not to live forever. The goal is to live awake, to move while you can, to speak while your voice is strong, to love without hesitation, to forgive quickly, to prepare wisely. You still have time, and time, when understood, is the greatest gift of all. Use it well.